Hello everybody. Do you play forts ranked? Are you getting shitted on ranked? Are you bad at forts? Are you losing every ranked game and you have 3% win rate? Well, no fear, we have our rank guide. So I will be running over this season's ranked maps and I will be giving stuff on what is meta there, meta commanders, meta strategies, how to defend against this meta, or there are potential meta strategies that you can play. It will be a quick rundown of every map. So starting with Abyss, which seemed to be what people struggle on actually the most, is this. So meta commanders here are Spook and Eagle Eye. Some other commanders might work, but those are the meta. So Eagle Eye is actually the only meta commander on this map specifically. And why is that? It's because in this map you can see that the starting base is kind of odd. You see, it's not really like any other base. It's really difficult to get turbines actually, and especially later on. So usually nearly everybody just places turbine immediately here. Notice when you place this turbine immediately here, this is exposed, right? And most people don't bother to immediately put a sandbag defense on it. So what we can do is actually can take advantage, say the opposing team is with, you have two snipers. You immediately get down two snipers with Eagle Eye, with Eagle Eye's passive ability with being faster fire rate, reload, or whatever, so that, well, you can kind of eviscerate this turbine, which should be building by now, so they can't even repair it. And way before they can play sandbags, way before they have time to react, and that's an already metal advantage, and it's already worth more than your two snipers. And now later on, and now you can, because this map is so big, if they say they place literally anything exposed, say mines up top, then you could snipe at that too. And they have to basically defend everything in this entire wide area of their base, which is simply just a lot of work. And the reason why you want Eagle Eye specifically is obviously because of the sniper buffs, but also because a lot of people go for the same sort of starting sniper strategy. But if you're Eagle Eye and they're not, you get faster. Well, your snipers build faster, and then you can actually shoot at their opposing snipers before they have time to react, before the sniper builds, which can be really strong as well. So that's first why Eagle Eye is really strong. And secondly, this is not explicitly just for Eagle Eye. This works with a lot of other commanders too. But if you have played ranked recently, you'll notice what maps are meta. I mean, what strategies are meta, and the only meta thing is mortars. And it's so incredibly strong that it is basically broken in just about every map. And Abyss is so this is why every strategy is sort of has to be a counter of mortars, which why they're playing Hurricane or something. Why everybody's playing Hurricane all of a sudden. So if you don't want to play mortars yourself, what I would actually recommend to do, and what I do on this map, is after you get all your mines and stuff, I would go ahead and expand up top, something looking like this. And I would go ahead and get my mortar. Not get mortars, actually. Get shotguns. So, for example, here, build an energy box around 64, 65-ish. That's fine. And then build another box like this. Now you can place two shotguns. And these tiny doors are a little bit complex. If you want to do big doors, it's fine, I suppose. But if you can't, like, learn how to do this, you sort of build these segments here and build a door. A little bit bigger than usual, maybe. Actually, that's too big. Something looking like this. And build another door like this. These are tiny doors for shotguns, so they're, well, it's harder to snipe and all that. And you can see this has a pretty wide range of, well, everything they should build, and, well, is hard to door snipe. But essentially here, if they try to go mortars, let's just say here, this is somewhere here. Right, you have these shotguns that just kind of eviscerate everything. And, you know, I'm going to try to defend my mortars, right? Because, you know, it's mortars. I want to defend them. So something looking like this. And, well, as long as to repair faster, which I guess I'll build a repair bay. That, you know, that's not faster. You know, I want to play mortars, right? Well, no, you can't. That's exactly why. It's because since mortars shoot up, you don't really want to build these mortars here. You want to build, the opponents want to build the mortars as low as possible. And when you build the mortars, so, you know, has a better angle for, I don't have to explain all of this, but if you have lower mortars, generally speaking, you want that in forts. So it travels through time less and it's hard to be shot down. And if they go for mortars literally like anywhere in this area, which is where everybody does, these two shotguns just absolutely obliterate everything. And it's basically impossible to defend your mortars unless you put doors on them, which it's not realistic. So these two shotguns, the only weakness is really AP snipers. So if you see them like, if you hear a lot of like, if you see them building an AP snipers, just do something like this. And this double shotgun strategy is actually even better with Eagle Eye because, well, Eagle Eye passive, well, active ability empowers the shotguns to do extra explosive damage, and it's just really powerful. And not just shotguns being generally powerful for, well, their shotgunning. Say they build mines here, right, and they don't really expect or they don't really know the meta strategies slash your shotguns on this map, right? They just get their turbines, and then you kind of just like eviscerate all of that. And now that I've talked about the shotguns, is the counter to them, obviously, first of all, AP Sniper, because it forces them to do more doors. And second of all is, just sandbags. Sandbags are actually very... So right here, you can see kind of fairly effective damage here, but once you put sandbags, most of the damage here is negated. Like this. You see, the sandbags don't take much damage. And that's how that works. Also, gonna do a quick building tutorial on this here is, you wanna first get one turbine initially. If you're Eagle Eye, you get 2 snipers. If you're not Eagle Eye, you can get a door sniper kind of like this, just in case they get 2 snipers, and even if they don't, it's good harassment regardless. Now you wanna do this. Here. Oh, it just used grid actually. Here. 4 mines, and then you can go ahead and get your turbine roll like this. I can build this slightly flatter, actually. And if you want to defend your mines, just, defend your mines. It's not that difficult. That's not what I want. And if it's ability attack, I will quickly do it. I won't explain anything, because I don't want this to be a 50-minute video. Because, I have many more maps to cover. Here. That's basically all the stability tag on this map, and here this map is one last thing on this map is that a lot of times it's buzzsaws here, especially when you build out a lot. Buzzsaws from this angle can be very powerful, and that's for Abyss. Be pro now. And to demonstrate that, we will move on to a quick replay I did against a fellow player here, Finn, on Abyss, where I actually accidentally show these strategies that I use fairly well. So you see I build up there, and you see my double sniper aggression immediately starts annihilating everything. And they place their sniper pretty early too. But because we're Eagle Eye, we get this build so fast that they haven't even built that while my 2 snipers are basically instantly built. And that's pretty great. I move on to get my mines here. I'm just very ahead. You see I go for a 2 turbine strategy. Here. He's trying to do a sandbag door snipe. Anyway, skipping ahead to a lot of reactions. I transition out of the exposed snipers into a singular sniper because, well, they have a door sniper and I'm not that fast. I'm not that good at aiming to actually, like, kill their door sniper every time. You see me get turbines up here, and you see me go for this, flag, and you see me go for the shotgun strat. So, as we speed on here, he goes for his turbines as well, and he goes for, well, with a mortar platform. This mortars here generally is a little bit worse. You want to actually have mortars lower, because if, say, your mortars are down here, you get, like, you can basically shoot them all 45-degree up, killing everything. Well, if, like, your mortars here, it'll go like this, and it'll slowly fall towards down, which makes it a lot easier to be shot down. So, lower mortars generally in forts is always better. And you see that me go... I would actually wait for the double reload here. I probably should have reacted earlier. And here they go mortars, right? And I'm very shocked by the mortars. But after this double reload, you see me immediately just kind of retarget down there, and everything they have is gone. Even though this is kind of defended. So even if they defend more, it will start killing his mortar angles. And well, he just kind of gets bullied here for the rest of the game after he loses all his mortars. And he just kind of sells off after Eagle Eye active kind of annihilates everything up here. So that's your Abyss. So now moving on to Caverns. Caverns, well, I spent a little bit extra time on Abyss because it's a harder map. But for the rest of the maps, I'll try to keep it a little bit shorter, so, it's less boring. Anyways, for Caverns, as I said before, the entire meta in forts right now is going to be mortars. It's mortars, and more mortars, and that's not different in Caverns. Caverns is especially meta on Cavern. Mortars is especially meta on Caverns. So I'm going to actually spend more time covering this back turbines because this is pretty interesting. If you build the back turbine somewhere like here-ish is fine. You can realize the mine hitbox is pretty small, and then you build a turbine here and here, cover everything to background bracing. sell these front parts, sell this, and reconnect it like this. You can get these turbines spinning, and go like this. And now you want to actually use the shortest box, which I would never recommend in basically any occasion for these turbines here. Something looking like this. Looking like this and like this. This way you can actually fit, what I believe 9 turbines is the theoretical maximum, though I believe 8 turbines is something you can realistically do in every game. So something looking like this. So that's, first of all, your way to get 9 turbines. And here, my meta strategy I would recommend is mortars. Mortars is, it's not, I mean, I think everybody agrees mortars is meta on this map. So you build down here. I mean, you can build down this there whichever way you want. My build order usually would be 2 turbines, 5 mines, this tech, and then I don't actually get. Sometimes you can get, depending on what your opponent is doing, you can get another mine here, but you go for this, and you get your mortar stack. I would not use this many nodes, but it's fine as well. Anyways, you get your mortars. Well, that's not perfect. It's fine. Something looking like this, and you upgrade your mortars, and you fire one with very high power, something looking like this, and one with lower power, looking like this. So you can either target like up there. Usually you want to target somewhere here, or if they build a lot of stuff, somewhere here. So here, and maybe less power, like this. And that's kind of disastrous for the opponent. And I can't focus right now, but you should do them something like this in fairly quick session. So all their gunners shoot at this, and this kind of obliterates everything. So that's the general strategy. You can defend a little bit up here. If you want stab tech, by the way, it's basically the same thing as the Stalactite stab tech, where you do this and you do all that. I'm not gonna demonstrate it right now. And also you can get some miniguns up here, or some buzzsaws up here as well, so you can maybe disconnect shooting like this. And I also have a great video, a rec video actually, where I played Caverns, and I actually got my mortars taken out, where I got this insanely clutch game. But that's basically Caverns for you. Another note is sometimes people go really down here just to buzz you from below, so be aware of that actually. And that's Caverns for you. And for example game, actually it's not Caverns, it's Crevice, I'm sorry if I ever said Caverns. You can see me do for this example build here. I go for these turbines, go for this 2 mines. I'll do a little bit of defense here, sell all my metal, because as you can see, there's not really a clear buzzsaw angle unless you build up. And if they build up, I can probably clearly see that there's going to be a buzzsaw, and then defend otherwise. There we go. Do my stability tech, build down here, build my mortars. You see them going for cannons, and you know, in this ranked landscape, if you don't play mortars, you lose. And to slow it down on how I'm baiting it, see, I shoot them fairly in quick succession, one much higher power, one much lower power. You see all the gunners try to shoot at the higher power, and the lower power mortars will break through. And now moving on to elephants. You know, as I said before, mortars is meta just about on every map, but I'm going to show starting build. So first, you want 2 turbines, or 1 turbine. 1 or 2 turbines is fine. Sell this front part, go here. Oh, by the way, for Crevice, the meta strategy is basically anything. A lot of stuff works there. Just whatever you want to play with mortars, pinch, fist, spook, or whatever. I personally prefer spook. And here, elephants. Elephants is not really, again, a meta commander. I think spook works pretty well here, but if you want to play pinch fist or overdrive or whatever you want, that works as well. Mortars is meta on this map, though I suppose sometimes cannons, other stuff will work because it's a bit longer distance, but mortars is still significantly stronger than any other strategy. Anyways, I would go ahead and do this. Feel free to slow this down, by the way, or join the Discord if you have any questions about base design. They will be linked in the description. You build back here, and I would go ahead and, if you want to do stab tech, you can do drive like this, and I'm doing some back lean here, so something looking like this, and this, and again, I want to get my mortars, so something looking like you might, since a high sniper up here might actually get some drop shots, so be extra aware, like make this a little bit longer. For extra protection, I suppose. And as I said before, mortars down here is very good. and well, one higher power, and keep in mind that this map is a longer map, so one higher power and one's less higher power. So hitting there is fine, hitting there is fine, hit whatever you want. And to defend against mortars, I suppose I would do some gunners up here, and scatter your gunners all around. And it usually helps to... Actually, I'm going to quickly show back turbines on this map. So here. And here. So at most, I believe you can actually fit 4 back turbines, but if you're going to do any backlean, which you should be, by the way, you can only fit 3 turbines here at decent efficiency. And if you want to play storages, you can kind of do like this. See, there's storages. And if you want to get more turbines, I would do it up here, and maybe sell this later on. And if you want to get miniguns, I would go like here. Funny how that works, huh? So, bing bing. And that's going to be fairly strong, and that's going to eviscerate your opponents. So, an example game of where I do that is, as I said before, by the way, there's going to be a little bit of curse words up here, so if you don't want to read that, then don't do that. This enemy gets pretty angry after some pretty amazing shots here. So I go for my usual build order you see here with my mortars down here. And my opponent, who tries to go for this cannons build, which is, as I said before, it just kind of puts you at a disadvantage. But they actually invest a lot into gunners here, so they can actually stop my mortars just because they're coming at such diverse angles. And actually here, they get buzzsaws, but they somehow miss every snipe on that. Regardless, it doesn't really matter. They manage another pretty insane buzzsaw shot, actually cuts out my mortars, and I lose that. So, but the thing about mortars is that it doesn't really matter when you get them. It's so strong that it just breaks through everything. So you see me go here, and I try to break through with the mortars. As you can see, the minigun's assisting. And by the way, this is a good example how you just should defend against mortars, by the way. So this is actually good AA defense. This is probably like the only thing that can defend against this mortars. I'd expand to more mortars, which sometimes I would recommend. Usually you just kind of want to stick to assisting the mortars. I would like to actually slow down at this part where I get this pretty vile, pretty nasty shot on him, and he's not very happy about it. Yeah, he's not really happy about that. Here. Anyways, the game ends after, well, more miniguns kind of just blow through everything here. And can we see that buzzsaw? And that gets obliterated. Buzzsaw's also a good assist to your mortar barrage. Anyways, so yeah, that's how you want to play mortars on that map and how you want to win with mortars in elephants. Alrighty, now moving on to Moorings, another very strange map. You know, you might have guessed, mortars is meta on this map. Actually, probably the most meta out of any maps. You don't play mortars here, you basically lose. I played against Ian myself, I believe 2 times on this map, and I did win, like, both of them, because he didn't play mortars and I did, even though he's a better player. So that really just shows how strong mortars is. I'm gonna actually, well, what my main focus is, I'm gonna show back turbines on this map. So build like this, pretty high up, and you build like this, and you go like this, and you connect this like this, and go like this, this. And now you want to convert all of like your entire base to background bracing as usual when you're going to do back turbines. Something looking like this, and your turbines are spinning. That's great. You know, just like that, 100% efficiency turbines. So my mortar build is usually personally here, just because mortars are so extremely meta on this map, is that I would actually go pinch fist, because if we assume their opponent is going to go mortars, then, well, if we get our pinch fist, we can get our mortars faster. If we can get our mortars faster before they do, we punch through and we'll kind of break everything they have. We break their mortars and we win the game. So I go for 1 mine, workshop, and I get for this, and I get upgrade center, and then I would just simply get mortars. But by the way, I would also sell every piece of front metal, because when you're on these horizontal bases, not saying you can't get buzzsawed, don't be angry when you do, but it's a little bit harder to be buzzsawed off just because, well, your support is behind your core here, as opposed to, say, you're on a vertical base where your support can be buzzsawed. So usually selling more metal here is fine, and if you're worried about your selling metal, you can just do this. Viper is a good video on stability tech here, but essentially the main key points of stability tech is you build these, and you do this, And you do this. And that's basically all the stability tech you need. And now you go for mortars up here. And if you don't want a mortars, replace these with gunners. And if you want to, and then maybe place heavy weapons here. Honestly, this is pretty similar to a mortars tutorial because that's what the meta is, and I can't control that. Something like this, and you can get more mines later on. You can get more turbines later on. And if you want to go ahead and get miniguns or snipers, I would recommend putting them here, looking like that. You know, something like this, more power, less power, something like that. That's a bit too much power. So the best spot to aim with mortars here is right here. If I could demonstrate that. Front is also pretty good, by the way. Can I just like get that shot? No, I missed. Insane. Nutty. Can I get this shot? So right here, if you hit right here and disconnect this node, usually they just fall cleanly off. And also, if they place any gunners here, that'll be pretty catastrophic. And how you want to defend against mortars here on this map is first of all, you want to replace these with gunners. Maybe you get some gunners down here. And you also want to get gunners like this. And if you see if you see the opponent building gunners like this, if you're going mortars, you would turn these into miniguns and you eviscerate everything they have down here. Yeah, play mortars. That's the TLDR, and that's pretty pro. Okay, so now moving on to a replay of me playing mortars is again with Nanuki, because I like last night I played like 6 matches with him on every ranked map, and you can probably tell how it went. Judging by the replays I've showed you. I think I've shown you everyone so far, so it's not like I'm leaving out my losses. I'm just not losing a lot against this specific player. And he goes for this Rubber Fox base design, which, judging by how it went in the game, I don't think it was very great. I get mortars, and he actually tries tanking them. Tanking mortars is somewhat possible, though not really. You see me getting a sniper up here. Since they have the sandbag gunners, I would respond with my miniguns of my own. And you see them getting gunners. And, well, buzzsaws, everything, just kind of... It actually took me a little bit longer to kill him. But I do get the kill eventually. And he goes for this rockets thing, but I have AP sniper, and that gets eviscerated. He just kind of struggles here, and he ceases to exist. Alrighty, and moving on to our last map, which is Stalactites. Stalactites people generally know how to build. In fact, I have an entire 23-minute tutorial on Stalactites. So, on Stalactites, what's a little bit more unique about that it is a 1v1 is that people generally longer tier 2 strategies are less effective. Mortars actually don't work on this map. If mortars worked on this map, then, you know, everybody would not be happy. But this is the only map where mortars isn't really meta. And the key thing about this map is that, well, the opponent has a lot of options, whether that's rockets, but tier 2 weapons are still, whether they're less popular than in like 2v2s, they're still somewhat more popular as you're in a 1v1. As you're on this map specifically. So what I actually go for is I go for my standard full eco setup. But because your opponent has so many options, whether that's rockets, 20 mils, howitzers, cannons, lasers, compared to other maps where, like, for example, 20 mils aren't really a real option, I actually go for something fairly defensive. So I go for this flag tech, and I would get this. Well, I'm not gonna showcase the entire build order, but like I get my back turbines and, you know, think life is good. Can you stop sniping me, AI, please? I, like, dislike you. I strongly dislike you. Can you, like... Oh my... I'm gonna crash out. Anyways, as I was saying, I go for a slightly more defensive build here, where I upgrade all my mines, and I would actually, usually here, if you want to go double Howie or more aggressive, it works. I don't think double Howie works great in 1v1s, specifically because if your enemy goes for any sort of rushy strategy, you're going to be behind, and I think it's howitzers are a little bit better in 2v2s, generally speaking. So I go for more of a defensive strategy, where I get, you can actually get cannon or laser tech. I think laser tech actually works a little bit better when you're playing against rockets or if you want to put weapons into defenses. But as I was saying, if they're going 20 mils, then lasers is also pretty great in 20 mils. It's just that lasers work well against a lot of the strategies. It's in 1v1s. So when you're going lasers, and I would, because I recognize that when I'm going upgrade center, I'm going to be behind from my opponent. So when I'm behind from my opponent, I just kind of respond to what they did. Assuming, say, they're going for 20 mils up here, then, well, I would go ahead and turtle up and get sandbags because I know I'm getting weapons later. I'm not rushing or anything, and I go sandbags. And the great thing about this build is that because you have so much stability, and because you have so much economy, is that you can kind of respond with whatever they do. If they do rockets, you go for trench gunners and flak, and then you put laser. You go ahead and put lasers in your defensives. They go howitzers. Well, then you just respond, I guess. I don't. If they go howitzers, that's kind of odd. People don't actually go howitzers that much. But again, you get a lot of options here. And the meta commander here is Pinch Fist, because you have so much metal to sell. So Pinch Fist is great on this map. Spook and some other options work, but Pinch Fist is just a good commander overall. And here, I'm gonna actually demonstrate what happens if you want to go for 20 mils. 20 mils is another alternative strategy on this map. So let's just, I don't really care. Can I not place this anywhere? Okay, it doesn't matter. Don't place stuff here. But if you want to go 20 mils, I would first of all recommend not doing I would doing more of a rush. So you want to do this. Build basically all the way up top here like that. Here. Something looking like this, this. And you can kind of do like this and door here. I would recommend building the doors later, by the way. They have an AP sniper, which is actually a pretty good counter to 20 mils. But you kind of do something looking like this. Can you, like, respectfully not AI? I'm trying to demonstrate something. Can you not? I swear to God, I'm gonna... You know what? I'm gonna crash out. I don't even have faster reload. What the fuck? Bro! I'm trying to demonstrate something! You know, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. This is fine. As I said before, calmly, slowly, you know, calmly, slowly. Bro, I swear to God, if you shoot me one more time, I'm gonna... As I said before, you know, you go for this 20 mil setup, and when you're going 20 mils, usually done with Pinch Fist or Scatter Shot if you want to go for this 20 mil setup, but this also exists, so... I'm gonna kill the AI, because it kind of offended me, like, that this was highly disrespectful. Okay, but you get the point. And here, moving on to your replay, just because, you know, I've used my replays against Finn for, by the way, also known as Nanuki, for all of my previous matches, I'm gonna go do that here. But this time, I'm actually going for a Rocket Rush, which, Rocket Rushes are not, on any other map, they're completely bad. On Stalactites, they're bad, but, like, they're not unusable. And I don't know what we're yapping out each other for. So here I go for a different build here because this is actually what the build similar to base design, similar to what I would do for 20 mils or anything more rushier, is because this is cheaper to do and easier to do, faster to do. I don't care about front lead, I'm not building that much, I just want to get weapons out faster than my opponent. So that's what I'm doing here, I'm going for some sort of rocket rush here. This is actually a fairly poorly done rocket rush, but it would look like something like this, and my opponent does gunner stat like this. This is somewhat close to how I should be doing gunners, so I think this is poorly done because I mean, these are kind of easily shotgunnable, and this is... I don't really think this is pro, essentially. AP Sniper, very good against shotguns. Actually, amazing against all this stuff. You can see AP Sniper getting good value here. And eventually I just break through. This is what I would do if I'm going rockets, but, you know, I'm not really going rockets in ranked all that much, so we'll see how this goes. And eventually he just, like, ceases to exist. And that concludes it. That's Infinity's rank guide. So if you want to probably not get top 20, but like top 100, top 15 ranked, this is the meta. Be like Infinity Power, subscribe to Infinity Power, and please join the Discord. Please.